It's too pink. Oh, you gonna go like check that out. Yo. Thank you guys. All right.
Alright, so here we got an example of cyberbullying. We got David here texting someone, "You're ugly." Open the message.
Sorry, I gotta get this text.
And they get cyberbullied.
Whoa. Stop bullying me. Why are you always bullying me? Does that make you happy? It's not funny. Stop. Sorry. You know people go through this every day when they get in trouble. Don't do this. You don't want to get in trouble.
Here we got an example of sexual bullying.
Please do not trust me. You didn't ask for my consent.
It's not cool, bro. It's not cool to not ask for consent, bro. Do better.
So here we got Juan, and we're gonna be asking him some questions. What do you think of bullying?
It's a bad thing.
Is what?
It's a bad thing.
It's a bad thing.
Yeah.
And do you think bullying affects lives?
Yes, I do.
Do you think that people should stop bullying and consider other people's feelings?
Yeah, they should definitely take it into account.
Alright, thank you, Juan.
You're welcome.
Alright, we got Brian Cito here. So tell me, do you think bullying is okay? Nah, what do you think people can do to prevent bullying?
They should avoid the people that's bullying them. They should avoid the people that's bullying them.
Avoid people that's bullying. How do you think someone can avoid a bully?
Tell a adult, a trusted adult.
Trusted adult. Okay, so he said tell a trusted adult. Thank you, Brian.
Alright, so today's question is, how do you feel about getting bullied? Have you ever got bullied before?
No, I just had an older sister, and she was prepared. I would say she prepared me for the world.
How does that make you feel? Or how did she make you feel at the time?
At the time, you're like, what am I doing?
Were you bummed out about it, the way that she would talk to you?
No, she didn't. She wasn't someone who really talked. Believe it or not, she thought she had hands.
She threw hands.
She thought she was very, she thought she was a fighter.
Did you beat her up?
So we got Luis here. Have you ever been bullied?
No.
Do you feel like bullying is acceptable?
No.
Do you think bullying should stop?
Yes.
How do you think bullying affects people's lives?
Because it could make somebody feel down about themselves and not confident.
All right, so it's important to be confident.
Yes.
All right, thank you, Luis. So we got Suhaili here. We're gonna ask her some questions about bullying. What do you feel that bullying makes other people feel?
Hurt.
Do you think that bullying should be stopped?
Yes.
How do you think someone can stop or prevent bullying?
Stand up for somebody if they see them getting bullied.
So what can you do to stop someone from bullying?
Tell a teacher if I see it.
All right, so it's important to tell teachers when they see something such as bullying.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
So we got Nada and Aurora here.
Yeah, hi guys.
Do you guys have any experience with bullying?
No. No, not at this school. No.
Not at this school, but have you had them in any other school?
Like anywhere in general?
Maybe like preschool.
Preschool. How did that make you feel?
Super bad. She didn't want to let me play kitchen, so that was really sad.
Do you think you could have been a better person if she did let you play kitchen?
Yeah, I would have like grown into like the person.
So what I'm hearing is that a bully can stop you from reaching your true potential.
Yeah, it like your ego gets crushed.
Yeah.
Have you gotten bullied?
No, I've never gotten bullied in my life.
All right. How do you stop a bully?
You just ignore them.
Yeah, you just ignore them.
Go to a teacher.
All right. So communication is always important.
Very
All right.
important.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you.
So we have Ms. B here. How do you feel about when a student comes to you saying something about their being bullied?
So it makes me feel really sad for them, and the first thing I want to do is find out how I can help them. So how can I make sure the school is a more comfortable place for them? Can we talk to the counselor? Can we figure something out to make sure that they feel safe all the time?
So do you think it's better for a student to go contact a counselor, a teacher, or parent?
Anyone that they feel comfortable speaking to, as long as you speak to some adult, I think you're on the good path.
So do you think bullying should be stopped?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Sure. So we have a counselor here, and we want to ask you some questions about bullying.
Okay.
So how do you feel when a student comes crying in here saying that they get bullied?
For me, it's kind of sad, you know, because you don't want to feel uncomfortable, like at school, like one of the last places, you know. But I think it needs to be addressed immediately. Adults need to know and find out about it so that they can kind of just address it, because also it's against the law.
Mm-hmm. So if someone comes to you and they want just you to know about being bullied, do you immediately contact their parents, or do you keep it between you?
For me, I keep anything a student tells me, I just keep it with myself unless somebody's life is in danger.
Okay.
So like anything that's said in here doesn't leave here unless life is in danger. But I think too, I always kind of try to convince a student that it might be better to like tell adults about it. So like me, you know, I'm not an administrator, but you know, other people, I would always say that other people need to know if you want this to stop.
Okay.
So,
thank you.
yeah. Okay.
So I have Ms. Duchesne here. How do you feel about bullying?
It's stupid and it doesn't belong in a school.
So how do you stop bullying if you see it happening?
You stand up for the person who is being picked on and you confront the bully, because 9 times out of 10 they don't like to be confronted and told that they're in the wrong. So you just stand up for the individual that's being picked on.
As a teacher, if someone comes in crying saying that they're getting bullied, how do you feel and what do you do?
So I would take them aside and I would ask them what's going on and make sure everything's okay first, because I have experienced being bullied before, so I know just having somebody to talk to about what you're going through is super, super great. So just talking to them and making sure they're doing okay.
At the time where you were getting bullied, how did you cope with it and what did you do?
I talked to my friends a lot, and I found a trusted adult that I had in that building, and I spoke to them, and the situation ended up being resolved by that adult.
So you do support the fact that you should talk to an adult?
Yes, I do.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
So we have Jomar here. He just made a comment about what I'm wearing, and that made me feel very insecure in my fashion style. So
Fashion style? I was talking about your face.
¿Qué opinas del bullying?
Es algo malo. No
¿Por
lo
qué
debería
crees que es
ser,
malo?
Porque hacen sentir mal a las demás personas.
¿Has sufrido bullying?
No.
all right, so we got Mr. Shapiro here. If you see a student come to your classroom and they're crying because they're being bullied, what is your first resort?
First response is to call them over, make sure that they are actually not physically hurt, right? Ask them what's going on, try and calm them down, and proceed from there, but basically in a very calm manner. What's going on? How can I help you? If I'm in a class at the time, I would probably just tell guys to, remain calm, kind of like what we just did here. I would talk to them a little bit out here, and then I would probably use my phone, dial 0, and say that I need to have a counselor or administrator to my room almost immediately.
So if a student trusts you with that, does that stay between you guys, or do you tell a parent about it?
So what happens, this is actually a real counseling thing. So what happens is, if, first of all, if they're just coming in, it's going to be referred to a counselor or an administrator, right? If it's something that the parent needs to know, they'll let the parent know. If it's not something the parent needs to know, they may not.
So we have Mr. Schwartz here, and we're gonna ask you a few questions about bullying.
All right, go ahead.
Do you think bullying is okay?
No.
Okay, and how, as a teacher, what do you do if you see someone getting bullied?
If I see someone getting bullied, I try to stop the situation, and I try to figure out what's going on and try to help the person that was getting bullied, and I try to focus on that person and make sure they're okay.
So you've been a security for a while. Has
I'm not
there?
in security, but
What?
that's okay. I'm not in security.
But weren't you a security?
No.
Yeah.
Oh.
You
Well,
messed that up.
That's okay.
well,
can
you
edit it.
like monitor the halls a lot.
I've been in the halls a lot.
Yes. So as in the halls, have you ever seen any sort of bullying?
From time to time, yeah. It's hard to tell though if it's bullying or if it's just playing around sometimes.
So how do you tell the difference actually?
Usually by the response of the person that's getting either made fun of or picked on or whatever it is. You can usually kind of tell if they're upset or not, and then you try to see if you can help them. A lot of times they don't want help,
Okay.
but you do what you can.
Okay. Thank you.
Try to help out. All right.
All right. So we got Mr. Clinky here. Do you have any experience with being a bully or bullying?
I've been on both sides of it.
And as a prior bully when you were younger, how did that make you feel?
Yeah, I wasn't exactly a bully yesterday, but yeah. A bully many, many years ago. Picked on a couple of kids, you know, pushed them around a little bit, whatever. I guess it was maybe a control thing.
So with that experience that you had, that it made you feel a certain way, did that open your eyes when you got bullied?
Yeah, because I mentioned I was on both sides of it. Around the time of like 8th grade or so, yeah, that was kind of a benchmark or whatever, or a low point, however you want to view it. And it opened my eyes, because I was like, okay, this feels terrible, this is horrible. And I would fight back, but you just get tired, or I got tired of fighting back.